Hulk Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker. The former pro wrestler is suing Gawker Media for $100 million for releasing a portion of his sex tape back in 2012. His lawyers argue the website intended to exert power and profit from the leak. Hogan took the stand Monday.
I was pretty rocked. I felt numb. The news had just hit me, that they told me that Bubba was on in the end of the tape, turning the camera off saying, "Heather, if we ever need to retire, this is for our retirement." And when Mike Walters said he saw it and the executive producer saw it, I remember being on the phone with David Houston, and my arms have never done this before, my hands started shaking.
Marie Napoli is still with us. Marie, what is your take on this case? What are the chances of Hogan winning?
I think ultimately he will not win. Maybe at the trial level he will get some empathetic jurors, but I think on appeal the law is just not in his favor. I feel very bad for him and for what he's going through, but he is a public figure and he did speak about his adultery in his memoirs and his biography, and he put it on the table. He made it, put it into the public venue. So he really doesn't have a right to come back now and complain that he doesn't like what Gawker is doing.
Because he did that himself. He was the one that put the issue out of his adultery, and that's why this is different than, for instance, the Erin Andrews case where, there was a video made without her permission. You're saying Hulk Hogan himself was the one who brought up the issue, and as a public figure, that's why it's a different set of circumstances.
But I think as a public figure, there are some areas of your life that are not necessarily public by nature and are not of public interest, and this would be one of them in my opinion. But he's the one that put it out there. He's the one that put it in his book, so he has made it a public issue. So I think ultimately he will not prevail.
Let me ask you this. Heather Clem, the ex-wife of Florida radio host Bubba the Love Sponge, was the woman in the video with Hogan. She says Hogan had no idea he was being filmed. So how could that affect the outcome?
I don't think that's going to affect.
Doesn't make a difference, even though, it doesn't appear that, at least according to her, that there was knowledge that this videotaping was going on.
I don't think that that's going to change the outcome of the case, although I think it's in poor taste that Gawker puts it out there. But legally, I think they're going to be fine.
All right, a lot of interest in these two cases. Marie Napoli, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.